Oh, an hour, maybe.
Oh, there you go.
Just for tonight.
There you go. Oh.
So Chris, how are you? Good.
Lexi, you brought us to karaoke one night.
Oh, I know, well, I was going to the first night, and
She
then I
forgot
actually
about
goes,
it, so.
I go to Monday karaoke.
I was there last night and everyone kept trying to get me to sing and I'm not.
Well, that's because Christian was singing, to be clear. He should-
Okay, I was singing Frozen,
Yeah,
okay, singing along with Frozen.
very important.
I watched two girls sing the a cappella rap scene from Pitch Perfect for karaoke.
That's amazing.
So I don't wanna hear that there's any
They-
song
they
that's off
brought
limits,
There was
like.
there was two different songs that came up
That was
from
impressive.
Frozen, and I have a 5-year-old daughter, so I've watched Frozen a
Right.
million freaking times. I sing along with that freaking movie with her all the
So
time.
he was belting it from behind the bar.
From behind the bar, yes, yeah, we don't need to do that though.
It would have been fun.
I was gonna, if they would have had one of the songs that I was interested in singing, I probably would have sung it, but they need to update the system.
They do need to update their system. Although I kind of enjoy, there's some songs on there that you can't get on the newer stuff, because they're like,
You can't just like add to it.
no, you have to pay licensing for, if you're a commercial. Entity and you're doing karaoke, you pay licensing for karaoke.
Oh, really? I didn't know. So I know all the equipment, I mean, when I first started working there, we'd hire someone to come in and do karaoke for us. And
Right,
then,
and they're paying licensing.
and then Dean, bought all of his own equipment. And everything to do that, and then it just got inherited with Chris, who took it
The
over.
equipment is yours,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the playing of the songs that you pay licensing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Oh, okay, no, I guess never mind, yeah. See,
This is Corey, he's
Oh.
stuck here.
Okay,
You're stuck here?
I was supposed to make it, I decided to turn around, try to make it a Keystone. And this is where the nearest rest stop was. Town you guys have?
Did you just decide to come to our meeting?
Well,
He needs an overnight parking
Yeah.
permit, so he's waiting for me.
I mean, I have friends that are coming up.
The public meeting, that's a good way to spend your time,
I
actually.
I have about 2 hours to kill, so you're here.
Nope. It's Chairman. Yeah, I'll sit over here.
No,
Well, okay, you're more important. Hey, look, there's. Oh, our new owl came. You want me to just take it across the road now, or?
You're not, I put that in I'm gonna put a loop around it.
No, how about I just stay like 25 feet away from you?
I was gonna try to put it up, we only got 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's like that's starting jobs, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna watch some videos on it.
say the interstate, or, say the interstate is closed.
no, the interstate wasn't closed, I was going to, started to go up Loveland Pass. And it just got white out, you know, they're 50 degrees, 14 degrees, and I got 2-wheel drive summer tires, and I was like, no, I got, there's no way.
Risk it.
Yeah, not risking it. And I got friends coming up with.
They laugh when I got Lizak, so we can, they laugh.
Bill, this that.
Are you feeling better?
We're gonna get another 6 feet, and make a good choice.
Yeah.
What do you say? I like Lizak.
I texted Rob yesterday.
In our winter time,
It's
so
horrible.
you might as well keep them around during the summer.
Sometimes you go.
Well, depends on how fast you wanna drive. I had some winter tires on a WRX of mine in my early 20s, but I was hauling ass on
We
the
need to
highway.
wait for higher
And those
speeds.
things slip out pretty easily. I think for some. Soft memory.
Yeah, this is not a today project, actually.
Tuesday, everyone.
But Rob, it needs to know that I got a mount for
And one
this,
person
so
slowed
it's
down.
locked in.
And I
Take the leads
And I
down.
straight up to the thing.
Like, somehow put a rug over this.
Yes, we're gonna buy more ways, although I
And
don't
it's
like
like,
those
it's
very
like,
We're gonna work from like a second hand. Honestly.
It's like.
That has to be
Your
like
kids,
3 or
I was
4
gonna
months
use
ago.
gas
It's
tape
down
is
there.
my
Yeah,
favorite, it's
stuff
way to
in cars, too.
secure wires.
You see it?
It doesn't protect that.
That was your, like,
Morrison.
They're really
And like, he was in the lane next to me and I was like, "No, I'm no." And then I looked in the air and everyone stopped on the highway, I'm like, yeah, we do.
That's exactly what I had. I was like, you're all assholes. Yeah, they got close, I think, to 11:30. Yeah, it was bad, well, they didn't even tell what the party was at.
Okay, Steve, just so you know, the meeting is ready whenever you are.
Yeah, 6 o'clock, yeah, get going,
I'm done.
not sure who's joining.
Beth is out of town, I think, but Jess said on the email thread that I was talking
I have
to.
her on here, but.
Oh, okay.
Maybe she's getting on or coming over. We can still start.
There are people in attendees, so let me let them know. You know who Jack Jensen is? Or Jennifer? Laura or Mara Morales Gonzalez?
No?
Sure don't.
Must not be like, no, I'm kidding. Must not live around these parts.
They're the CU Denver Parks Project.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
that makes more sense.
oh, good, I have that number 3. Let's credit on.
Cost to get a brand new ring.
Another one?
One we could keep open year round.
Oh, a what? Refrigeration?
2-3 million, don't you think?
Probably.
Right?
Enclosed drink?
Oh my god, I would have so much fun.
Set it up in the
Oh,
store.
a little bit of ice.
I mean, when it gets hot in the summer,
Everybody in.
it's great to be a kid and play hockey, I gotta tell you. But,
I was at one.
We ready? No, who's on or?
Oh, I have the TVs.
I'll just start.
Yeah.
All right, Parks and Recreation, Town of Georgetown, regular scheduled meeting Thursday, April 3rd, 2025, 6 P M. Notice an agenda for regular meeting, town hall will be open to the public for this meeting. There's an option to join virtually. If you'd like to leave a comment, please call 303-569-2555, extension 2, or email townclerk@townofgeorgetown.us. Agenda, call to order, roll call. Steve Caliban here. Tom Paxton. Beth Luther. Daniel Owens. Christian Holbaum.
Here.
Jessica Louise. Lexi Berger.
Here.
Rob Connell. Here. Agenda approval. Minutes approval, 3/6/2025.
Okay, pretty good.
Right first, I'm sorry.
can I say it?
Yes.
I'm not used to both not having one.
Yes, I just printed mine. I got everything under that Beth wanted to talk about.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda dated Thursday, April 3rd, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
I.
Agenda approved. Minutes approval, 3/6/2025. I just read,
Pretending that.
yep. Who wants to? Motion to approve it,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Minutes approved. Audience business. Members of the audience will have 5 minutes to present any matter of interest related to the town, not already on the agenda. No official action may be taken at this time. I don't think you have any new business. All right,
Not me.
old new business, park tech report, Kevin.
So Mitch started work for me.
Okay.
He's working out all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, managed to.
Don't sound so enthusiastic.
He's all right.
Right?
He's good. So we took down the skating rink. the
okay,
whole thing.
and we trash it, right?
Yeah, I stayed 20 feet wide by 100.
Yes.
Oh,
With
okay.
the slip and slide thing, right?
So
I
stoked
don't
on
know where you guys are gonna set that up at. Slip and slide?
Put it on the hill.
Right near the infirmary.
Yeah. I don't know, they just-
Right into it.
So I stayed a piece of
But
it.
I'm fast, heading down the hill.
So the park truck is getting old. Well, it was old when we bought it, but it's got 300,000 miles on it. Fuel pump went out, so I put a fuel pump in it.
We gotta get 500 out of it.
I bought new ball joints and tire rods for it. I'll put those in tomorrow.
Let's get,
Well, we should start thinking about it for next year.
I'm gonna put it on there, we'll have to.
Yeah.
for the same kind, do you like the style that you have?
Yeah, I like the Ford.
But do you like with all the boxes?
Well, we can just take that box off and put it on the next.
A
truck.
utility truck,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, so we could actually find a truck for that, or you can a bed on it. Yeah,
Alright, we'll look at that.
yeah.
Well, that's not hard to find, they're usually auctions when they're not that old.
Yeah.
To just get the cab and then the frame.
That's it. Oh,
That's right, okay.
Yeah,
Hi, everyone, sorry,
Alright.
5 minutes late.
so I had that big, which one of the local from, out of,
Yes,
Alright.
that's me.
I had that big number, get the restroom down there, in the restroom. We recommended replacing the valve. The whole unit, but he never gave me a price on it. So I got a price on it from like Grand Park Supply, it's $1,000 for the valve and the sensor. If I were to do it myself,
Okay,
they never got back with me on it, so that's where that's standing.
is something you wanna do, or you wanna try something out?
If you don't call, I'm gonna do it.
Alright,
Yeah,
can wait till next meeting to approve?
well, if you guys can get it approved, I want you to get the parts.
Yeah, let's make a motion.
It's $1,000 for a valve and a sensor.
Alright, I'll make a motion to authorize Kevin Gregory to spend no more than $1,000
It's like 1,100.
or $1,100 for a new valve
For the restroom?
for the restroom. All in favor?
No.
Oh, wait, sorry.
And then, Bess asked me about the.
All in favor?
I,
I did get a new restroom though.
Yeah, so Bess asked me about the trash cans for, what's that guy's name? Down there.
Stu came in.
So
Creighton.
Craig wants the trash can. I have the enclosures, I don't have the 55-gallon drums.
Okay,
She said she was gonna give you some. So,
You know, I get that.
can you give me some?
I think I can.
I need like 10 of them, because there's some on
I can keep that. I
also.
can get you one or two.
Oh, well, I can get 3 of them.
Alright.
She says she can give you some too. So if you give me a couple, that'd be cool. So,
so you got the tops, you just need a can.
I got the tops, I just need a can too. And
These
then,
are 55-gallon.
yeah, then I'll just paint it green.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, cement everything else. And then, Bob Hamilton's son, his name is Bob also. I talked to him about, what's the playground,
Phosphorus.
Foster's.
Yeah,
He said he's down to repair everything,
okay,
that's okay with you guys. I told him I told his name now.
yeah.
No. He's a little bit younger than Bob, obviously.
And his son.
Yeah,
What are we doing?
he just wants to, well, just needs a lot of maintenance on it,
Okay,
a lot of repairs and painting and.
Sanded a lot in some spots probably.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's in our maintenance budget, so we don't need to.
yeah, I guess we have,
Was Ryder not
we have some money set aside for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we have money.
Was Ryder not available?
Yeah, Ryder's not in. Yeah, I didn't ask Ryder, to tell you the truth, but. Bob and Ryder.
not available.
Bob and Ryder.
Yeah, it does.
I did ask Bob first about Ryder, he's like, well, I got my son,
Gotcha.
so.
That's good.
But
If he needs
Ryder's
help,
like Bob's son.
No, you're right, you're
So
right.
if he was available, he would.
if he needs any help or extra tools or anything, we're currently working right across the street.
Oh, yeah, you
in the park, so.
Yeah.
I've got all the tools and everything he might need, or an extra hand if he needs it,
Okay,
just throw that out there.
so I'll have him talk to you about it then,
Okay,
Bob Hamilton, you know. What's your son on, Christian?
303-945-6644.
This is a public meeting, don't forget.
You all can text and call me anytime you want.
Let's just text her.
Yeah, I think I was just gonna say only trans.
That's it for me?
All right, thanks, Kevin. I'm not sure if Creighton's on.
Jess is.
I know Jess, she's next, or no, she's almost on.
Creighton is not here.
Not here? Okay.
Creighton wasn't planning on attending today.
Yeah, but we just had that for update, but it's not, we've already been updated pretty good. All right, the students,
We are not currently promoted. Would you
No.
guys like to be promoted? Let us think yes.
See something up there.
But their mics are turned up.
Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, we just have a short presentation for you today on we have a concept design for the Lagoon Park and some material studies. And then we're looking at some of the connective spaces between Lagoon Park, Meadow Park, and Greenway Park. So I'll share my screen real quick if that's all right. All right, so for anyone that's not familiar, this is the area that we're doing our designs in. I think last meeting we showed some preliminary designs for Greenway and Meadow Park. So we're looking to flesh all that out a little bit. Here's our preliminary design so far for the Lagoon Park. We're looking at adding a shade structure, which if you guys can see my mouse, we have right here alongside some boat storage. So that would be scaled for like kayaks and canoes and paddle boards and things like that. And that would be like locking, storage. And then we have some public restrooms in this back area. And we're looking at adding a dock for like a put-in location for canoes and kayaks. And then some kind of beach seating by the water and some rock steps down into the water. And then this large kind of boardwalk. And we were thinking about putting interpretive signage for some wetland species and things like that along that, alongside some, space for fishing or like viewing platforms.
Nice.
We were really looking to see if you guys had feedback on, what the scale of like a shade structure there, what you envision that to look like, or how many is how heavily we want to have like infrastructure in that location.
What do you guys thoughts on that?
Well, this doesn't encompass a heck of a lot of,
No. Just
Sort of
sort of,
mileage.
basically just a deck with a little face cut.
I would think, it's extremely sunny here, I would imagine you'd want an expansive shade structure.
Well, that was something I wanted to mention before, was like,
Oh, that's
last time, there wasn't any kind of like pavilion for shading, so I like the idea of the shade and cover area, especially right on the water, that'd be nice.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
But it's just gotta be considered that you're gonna get high winds.
Yep.
So you're gonna, rated for 100 miles an hour.
Plus,
I would say 130.
yeah. That's
Well,
so-
I thought I was being.
130 exposure C, let's go.
Strong, you guys have the likes of 126.
How much storage are we anticipating to be included in there?
For the kayaks and.
Yeah, in that structure.
I think that's a little bit open to discussion still. Right now, we received some precedence from Beth, just looking at kind of more simple racks. We were hoping to have that enclosed on the windward side, so, just prevent too much exposure. But yeah, we would love to have feedback on how much of that would be desired by the town.
But I don't see really.
Would that just be for like people in the community?
Yeah, they wanna keep their paddleboard or kayak down there.
Yeah,
Okay,
like first
people
the
love
charge
it.
is $250 a season per slip.
Okay,
Just
so,
to keep your boat there.
Yeah,
So it's passive income.
cool, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm even thinking too, we could even do like internal, external storage if there's an internal opportunity, and you could do the things off the outside as well with just the normal cable locks.
What you could do, if you want an example, is go to the Outrigger Canoe Company in Oahu and look at their boat houses.
Oahu.
Let's I'll book the flight.
We need to get the
No, I'll Google it though.
Parks and Rec trip to take a look at that.
How funded,
It's
I
called a
would
jumping.
say.
Political jumping.
Yeah, I have no idea how many feet, like. I would say no more than a dozen kayaks, dozen paddleboards.
Well, I mean, with all the new apartments down there, I could imagine that there are a bunch of people moving into those places might end up purchasing their own kayaks or paddleboards to be right there on Lake Erie.
I guess we could always expand it, start off with a dozen each and then,
Not a dozen times. We could always also use it for rental or lease it out to rent a rental company too, if we wanted.
But call it a club, and it's called memberships, not.
The yacht club.
Right, the yacht club and its membership.
Georgetown Yacht
and I would say the structure would be,
I love
I
it.
mean, half a dozen people at a time bidding on it, I mean. I can't imagine a lot of people.
No, I can't either, especially because during the summer, there's a guy who's down at Cabin Creek who rents out all the paddle boards. And he
Yeah.
rents a lot of them out almost every day he's there, so
Right.
if it's nice out, everyone's using them and they're not storing or anything. There's
This
no
would be good for
paddle.
local storage.
Yeah.
Local Community.
I would imagine that'd be most storage for people that are gonna end up moving into those new condos down there, those
Yeah.
apartments down there. Which I wouldn't imagine would be many, I think it does, it sounds perfect.
Okay,
Awesome. Thank you guys. Do you have any other thoughts on this kind of park layout?
Did you send this in an email?
Yeah, definitely. We'll send these over at the end of the
Oh.
meeting.
yeah, then we could make some notes on it.
Yeah. For next meeting.
Awesome.
Tell you what we need.
What do we need?
One of those haul ropes that takes those wakeboarders, without around the lake.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Too cold, but
Nah.
you know what I'm
What's
saying?
the rental?
Wetsuit rental.
Thousands of wetsuit.
I might have better.
I support the whitewater park that we should get. The Georgetown whitewater park.
They're pretty sweet.
See, and then this is our next slide. This is Mariana's material precedence for some of those shade structures. I'm not sure if Mariana, you wanted to speak to this at all.
Yes, hi, my name is Mariana and I just recently joined the team. I'm a architecture grad student, so yeah, just to get a little more of an understanding of what you need and what type of structure you're looking for in terms of aesthetics, materiality, also scale. So these are a range of different styles. So we have two more traditional styles focusing on local materials, and the other two, Lake Age Park and Festival Park, having a little more modern approach, but still relying on local materials to blend in with their environment. So yeah, just to get an overall understanding of what you're looking for, what you're trying to avoid in the design, and yeah, overall the scale, number of picnic tables you need, number of restrooms, if you have any sort of idea of and the needs on that.
So the examples on the left are more mountain, western.
Yeah,
That,
no, I think it's great, if you review this with us, then send it out to them. And we can sit there and look at it.
again, I think one of the most important things to do, what Rob said, is something that can hold up with the wind down there.
Yeah,
Cabin Creek had a full-size yurt blow into the building a couple years ago. And that thing weighed a ton, it was heavy. The winds pick up pretty strong down there.
Don't you love hearing like hurricane reports and going, "Oh, breezy day"?
Just a breezy day, it's a normal day, enjoy 120. It's an average day of play, man, come on.
yeah, if you send this out, we'll kind of all look at it, and then we'll all comment, and we'll kind of pick out what we think we like the best, and then we'll put a number of people to it for a size.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, we have a couple more. I think we have two more slide or three more slides, maybe. These are just a couple of those kind of intermediary spaces. So last time, and this one just for reference is between Meadows Park, and that's down here if you guys can see my mouse, and then Greenway Park here. So we had a little bit of concern about just having traffic come through this blind turn and then having street parking. So we have some parallel parking. And then we were exploring a little bit with that that new survey using some of this space for some additional parking off the street, if that was a possibility.
I would just take anything away from the park itself for parking, if that's what it's described.
He was looking at going up to the tennis court, I think, right? Or no?
Is that what it's going towards, is the tennis court, or is it actually
Yeah.
approaching on the Greenway Park?
I thought it looked like he was going up toward the tennis court. No, there's the bridge.
It was more than just 2 parking spots. Like at least like 6, I think. But I agree with the parking.
Yeah, and we'd also place some parallel parking up a bit north of where this view is.
Okay.
Similar to how it is now.
How many parking spots are in the image that you're showing us now?
This is not, or yeah, 9, so it'd be 6.
Do you think that's too much?
I guess it depends on where it's going, where is this showing, where are those parking spaces at, north of Greenway?
Yeah, so Greenway Park is in the southeast corner, if you can see the corner of the tennis court down there. So then this would be that drive up to the car parking.
That's gonna be parking at the tennis court.
Or on the way up.
So do you see how Clear Drive
Yeah,
lines?
now,
Yeah.
yeah, I see it now. Okay.
I think, what about if the blind term was meant to be some kind of like. Not 3 parking spaces, but something else, and then we kept just the 6. That were in that survey area. The blind term parking just concerns me a little bit, and I don't know if there's a way to make that into a handicap spot perhaps somehow, I don't know, because it's on a weird. But I just don't like those 3, and I think if we have tennis court parking, and then we have those 6. The extra 3 there is like, eh.
That, and if, like, when the skate park goes into, I almost see that being full from parking as well.
Yeah. All right, something else I'm gonna have to look at.
Yeah, and then we're also exploring a bit of kind of pushing the signage up towards the road on the north side here. To potentially slow down traffic and just add some clarity with these pedestrian crossings.
3-story.
And then this next one, so this is between the north side of Greenway Park and the south side of Lagoon Park, right before the pedestrian bridge. We were looking at ways to possibly activate that stretch of gravel road, while kind of maintaining some privacy for the residential parcels that are on the east side. So this was one of our options that contains like a small sculpture park. We'd also considered maybe something like horseshoes or some kind of community recreation space. And our second option was a kind of reforested version that just removes that as like a dirt path and makes it a little bit more of a space that people can use in an extension of those parks.
Yeah.
Better than horseshoes, I get
What's
Idaho
that?
Springs. I said
Yeah,
I like the second option better than horseshoes, I get Idaho Springs vibes. When I think of the horseshoes, how they put in those big things. That cost a whole bunch and everyone are upset.
well, that is being a bike park and a very popular walking area for dogs and people
Yeah,
just.
I kinda like, we kinda like the second option.
Yeah, I agree. On trails.
Awesome, thank you. That is everything we have for you today. We'll definitely send those over right when we hop off.
That'd be great, appreciate that, looks great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys for your time.
Coming
Thank you.
along.
Amazing.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
All right, Jess.
Howdy, friends. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there in person. I'm watching Sarah Church's Husky, and she's been alone most of the day because I've been a little busy. So thank you so much for letting me take up a little bit of your time. Just some of the stuff that I wanted to touch base with you guys was mostly what's on your agenda already is the Epic Day of Service. This has grown a little bit more since last year, so I wanted to give couple updates while we're still cruising along on our planning. Significantly newer this year, Empire will be having their own location. So each municipality will be able to be a part of this new initiative. We have a wide array of sponsors, including Bread Bar. Thank you so much, Jessica, for helping out and being included. What's really cool about this year is not only will Georgetown have our massive amounts of roll-offs, the wood chipper will be back, so any kind of slash or projects that you guys have going on, make sure you bring them down. But the transfer station is going to be opening up coupons. So if there's anything that isn't accepted and they do accept, they'll be able to provide a discount along with electrical recycling bins for us and Idaho Springs. That's pretty exciting and new this year. And then the other thing that's coming up, Beth was connecting us with the food bank. They're running a little bit low, so we're trying to really make this a big community effort, whether we're cleaning up our areas or making sure that we're pitching in our community in other ways. We do have our do's and don'ts out here, and we'll have little hands out the day of. The biggest thing that Doyle's really trying to hit on are mattresses and tires. There was an incident in another municipality that somebody was double bagging tires. By the time they cleared them out, they had 46 extra tires. The town was billed an extra $1,600. So that's something that we want to be mindful of as we check people's trash and slash that they bring in. And then for y'all, I've started to look around town at some really high areas. If there's any feedback from you, you know, the biking trail's a really big area. We'll have our wading team. That's a team of 2. You have people in the creek, and then you'll also have people on the side with the bag just because it gets a little more dangerous. We are looking at the other side of the highway right now. However, we all know that our exit ramps are pretty kind of intense as is, and that's a little bit more of a high visitation area. But again, this is an all hands on deck. So not only is it on our website, we do have our Facebook event going. Each municipality has slowly started to start their advertising as well. There is a sign up that we are tracking. And then we have our waiver. Once we start getting people sign in, we'll be pushing that out. And then of course, having our sign up and waiver there the day of. How are you guys feeling about it?
So last year we did this and it looked like the Rotary Club handled a lot of it for the initial setup and stuff. Is there anything specific Parks and Rec needs to handle?
I don't really know. That's an excellent question. Like I appreciated multiple of the board being there. However, when the Rotary is looking at who needs assistance, they definitely try to staff Georgetown and Idaho Springs, but they're looking at 2 people per shift. But of course, as we saw, there was a lot more than that. But if you guys want to participate in actually the cleanup part, or if you want to be the welcome group, we can communicate that with Rotary and work on it.
Okay. And how about the dumpsters? Who's handling that? Usually we do.
Yes, we connected with Lisa Doyle, who was able to secure about 6 roll-offs at 150 each.
Okay.
Does this replace our cleanup day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Rotary hosts a national Epic Day of Service the 3rd weekend in May. From my understanding, last year we just moved along with them. The same thing happened with Plume, and I don't believe Empire did last year. It was on June 22nd, the Slacker, which we won't be doing our yard sale that day. I learned. But they were able to move, and they're going to be joining in this effort as well.
That's people that community service helped out last year too.
Yeah, our gang is coming up. We were connected with the CTO. We have our destination stewardship launch this past year. So we're really trying to highlight not only these destinations that are doing sustainable practices, but welcomes into the community. How many Denver Metro residents do we have come up here and utilize it as their backyard? We're asking them to come back, clean it up, and get ready for a good time, because we know everyone's coming in the summer.
Can you send this to me, Beth? Or Parks and Rec?
Absolutely. I can do that.
Yeah, everything you have there, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Any more questions? Because I have one more opportunity that came up yesterday that I wanted to share with the board.
Yeah, no, please do. No, it sounds like everything's almost taken care of. You just come down and help out.
Yeah, you know, it kind of starts to fill in itself the more we go along. The only thing that's if people want to be in a part of a team and they don't have a group, maybe the board would like to partner with them, but I don't want to donate your time if you don't have it.
Gotcha. All right, Jess, what else?
Yeah, so the really cool thing for me anyway is not just our town, but kind of the county shift is moving to outdoor recreation. People come here and we've heard it for years, getting from the trails to the cash registers. We were able to identify an activation point with the outdoor festival. It's going to be that last weekend of May, so May 31st and June 1st. We are partnering right now with Idaho Springs. It's a soft yes. Sadie needs to confirm with the board, but we are splitting the cost on a booth. We are making sure that we are present and telling them that we are here to play. We are not just the Passover to the outdoors. We are the outdoors. Not only is this about 75% of a Denver Metro resident who is our high target market, they're about 4 of our 5 key demographics. So not only is it just supposed to be a fun weekend, but a lot of the projects that the board has been working on could be a feature here. So it's not just, oh, we have the Rutherford Trail. It's, hey, get excited for what's coming. So if there's anything that the board would like to share or give a sneak peek of, I would love to extend that opportunity. The other side of it is we're working with our businesses to kind of promote a weekend in our 2 areas. So one night in Idaho Springs, one night here in Georgetown. And we're going to be working through to kind of see if you go for a hike at Beardstadt and you weren't prepared, go get your bath bomb from My Lovely Soap Company. But this is our opportunity to say, here's how you play, here's where you play. Hope you have a great day.
You would love the idea of like a package deal where somebody could come on a Saturday, spend the night, and then, you know, do something on like on a Sunday. What I'm talking about is maybe if they,
Build an itinerary.
you know, it's more or less like, hey, if you stay at the Georgetown Mountain Inn, it comes with a free tour at the, you know, Hotel Paris or
Yeah.
or the mine or a free ride with the loop. It's sort of like, you know, put together a package deal to get somebody to wanna stay overnight.
Like a DMO package,
The incentive.
What's that sound?
a destination marketing organization package, where they get multiple businesses that are part of the DMO already, or the bureau.
Right?
And the visitors bureau to like go in together on it, and then they get some kind of perk from the DMO or from the town or whatever for being willing to.
If you get, you know, get support from maybe like the rock shop, you know, if they go into the rock shop, they get a free keychain or something like that. But at least it gets them in the door.
No, absolutely. We already working on things like that, especially with like their Burnout Base Camp initiative or just general itinerary building. So if people don't just know where to go, they can see maybe the discount for the family or your single and starter who has a different income than your young city solo. But that's definitely an area that we're playing. You just have to be careful because you don't want to have just the same offer every time, but you don't want the same businesses. You got to make sure it's equitable.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're not wrong. Great opportunity. And this is the Camp Colorado area of the festival, so it's only DMOs in the state that's being promoted.
Okay.
Great, thanks, Jess.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course, of course. Anything you guys ever need, just holler at me. I'm gonna go check on my salmon and play with this puppy so her energy goes away. But enjoy your evening.
Great, thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Next on the agenda is fitness court, which is next. You guys already read that, or heard that?
I talked with Beth about it.
Yeah.
And she was saying that it's like that's a no-go for us.
Yeah, 150 grand to buy into the membership.
And that's just adding on to what they said it will cost.
Yeah.
That's ugly too.
I wasn't for it personally, I didn't think it would get enough use, I'd rather, if we had extra money, I'd rather spend it, and it's up to you. But I'd rather spend it on the lawn and irrigation, you too.
Yeah,
So we actually have a place where people can hang out and have a concert.
especially for that much money, then you go to much better use.
We could easily put irrigation in there.
Yeah.
And our people are fit enough where we are, like.
Yeah.
we don't
We don't need that.
Have that.
Plenty of things. I don't wanna be like.
I mean, then like the winter time, when you have like a fitness court like that's just gonna be covered up the entire.
Yeah.
All winter long.
Oh, good, so I thought it was just me that was against it, so.
Yeah, I think it's all
All right, well, that's good, well, that's next. Dock repair,
So we're gonna get started on that,
okay,
probably next week.
oh, really, okay, we can do it ourselves, or have somebody come do
Mitch and I are gonna do
it?
it.
Yeah, okay, just replace the plywood, or,
Yep, just
Okay.
around that bottom, then we're gonna, power wash it and reseal it. And put it back.
I still think that ply, I don't know if the weight, I think when it came loose, it hit, was it hit rock or something?
Well, it comes loose all the time.
All the time.
Instead of anchoring down with the little 1/4 inch cable, I think I'm gonna use chain.
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, some like
Yeah.
stainless steel chain or something.
Okay, that's
So
good,
it can't be ripped, cause it's always this ripped. And then they also anchored it with the train car wheels.
that's.
Oh. that's a
Yeah.
good idea.
So they're still in the water there where it was, we have to fetch them out somehow.
I think I started a story.
So we're not doing that guy,
Go through those.
one of that guy's docks, then we're next in the guy's docks. You guys get that?
Yeah, that email with all the examples.
Yeah, so there was an email that was sent out. with
Yeah,
this
they
guy
probably wanted to
and
do a dock on
his
this, on the small.
But it's like attached to the. It's not free floating,
It's not a
it's
floating
attached
dock.
to, the,
Like the one, like the one down in town.
still also doing that, or no?
Well, this is the repair,
Just-
this is for the big, like, the one that came loose, that's what we're gonna repair. The
Uh-huh.
dock that Creighton had with us, we're on the smaller pond, really, but.
If we could repair the floating dock though, are we still gonna
Yeah, this is.
entertain this, these are
Yeah,
separate,
these are
oh,
separate.
okay, I didn't know if it was like contingent on.
Yeah, like,
That was
this is something Creighton might be doing, adding
Okay.
the docks, other than that, yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's what we looked at.
That was that pavilion you were talking about, it's a walk into the water kind of dock, is that what you guys find?
Well, that's what yeah, it's different examples out there, and I wasn't sure how high they sit off the water, because it would be nice if you go in, get on your paddle or
Into
something.
it, yeah, walk the
I said,
lane,
no, out there, if they're this high, people probably did do it.
Yeah,
that's
I know
good,
they fish on that one all the time, like that,
we should totally make it so that you can access.
so I wasn't sure if he's putting in one or two. That's the dog food postcard that, other page that put together a flyer,
and that would be sending out to the residents.
Yeah.
By that trail, right?
and it's definitely the apartments down there.
It's terrible.
It's
Yeah,
so bad.
It is pretty bad.
I walked in and it just freshly snowed and I walked in, there was no prints, nothing till I got there, then all the prints and dogs were.
I sometimes avoid walking down there because.
This is
I
good.
think they're just sending their dogs
By
by
that footbridge down on the other side of the creek.
Well, they sent them in the.
All along the
Yeah, it's
wall.
just disgusting.
As soon as you.
It looks like the
this
whole
side of the
apartment
creek, you cross
complex
that
with dogs
footbridge, you go
live
through
there,
those
they don't-
apartments, all the way to Cabin Creek, that trail is just littered.
And there's dog poop bags along the way
The whole
I was
way.
just
Yeah. There's one sitting right there by the bridge.
and further down.
There's two more further down.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll get with
It's
that.
also really bad, like on that trail along the creek. Oh my God, sorry, I don't know.
The original split one,
I think
By
so,
Cooper's,
like yeah, by Cooper's.
yeah, that one.
That one's also,
That trail is actually called Lickety Split.
I was
Is it?
just gonna ask, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I've never noticed that bad there,
it's bad.
is it?
And there's two posts and trash bags and trash cans on.
There's
the trail.
poop bags on one side.
Yeah, I thought there was one on the other one.
No,
okay, so
it's just
I
garbage.
I have another one up there,
Yeah,
on the other side.
I think we need to get this out to the whole town.
yeah.
Poop bandits, some mail them.
So is it poop included in the epic day of service?
It should be, oh my god, that's a good idea, get the.
And it's hard to ask people
No,
to
but
do
you know,
it,
can
but-
We just have to
installation is.
provide appropriate materials for poop pickup.
Yeah, okay.
But we had also the last meeting we were talking about.
We ought-
Trash can,
We
right?
really ought to put a truck in there.
Yeah.
Creighton offered Creighton offered, trail
eight of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just the
Yeah,
dummy
as well.
cans.
whatever.
Yeah, just the.
Oh, the dummy,
I
they don't.
think Creighton wants to hand over, I'll just take it, honestly, I mean, if he's just gonna do it.
I mean, you can get a trail cam on Amazon for like $80.
I have two of them.
Somebody just
Yeah.
comes out of the woods with a shotgun.
And got yourself.
We got 6 or 8.
Covered in that gum.
Bag here.
With a big net.
Yeah.
Catch them.
No, a net,
I'll
that
let
would
that
scare
carry
me.
a group flyer.
But you catch
The
them.
hockey mask,
Are we gonna send that to, are we?
You know
gonna
what?
have
That would work.
everyone's door?
I think you send it to
PO
everybody.
box?
Yeah, so we should get
What's our
clarity on
method?
where.
I think so too.
Yeah, how are we doing this? Is this just a flyer?
Well, I think we're originally just gonna go to the apartments, but.
That's a
I
better
think
idea.
Send it out with the water bill.
Because obviously the people on this end probably aren't as much of the issue for the things on that end and vice
Can you
versa.
put it in your PO box?
I'd say put it on doors,
Asia.
straight to the point.
Say it one more time, sorry.
Oh, we have a food flyer.
How do we
That we want to
distribute
get
it?
out, originally it was just the apartments.
So I
Yeah.
talked, I talked to Beth about this, there are restrictions on, you guys are a government entity, sort of, and so. Like us entering people's property, there's only specific instances where we're allowed to do that. You can stick it to a gate or something like that, but we also want to be mindful about,
This could be electronic. It could go out to the
Electronic,
email of the
probably.
apartments.
PO boxes is one of the things I recommended so far.
Yeah, box.
Postcards is what I think would be the most effective.
Yeah.
Cause then you're also getting people who actually live in town, like renters, not the people who, I mean, I guess living on their door.
I didn't think
But it's
postcard, I
like
just thought electronic or post office.
The other thing that Beth and I talked about was she has twine, I believe, and she was thinking maybe we could tie it, so it's like a little door knocker. And you could hang it on stuff, so that would, you know, secure it and it would not damage the property, which tape that's strong enough to hold it up could. So something to think about, but I like post office. And
Yeah.
I like that.
How expensive is it to send out
A
a
postcard
physical
that
postcard
is
to everyone?
00037. Well, I'll tell you, our water bills cost us about $367 a month, so.
And how many people get those?
Every physical property.
Many bills, yeah.
1,000?
So is that like
Uh,
that's 2,000?
700.
Okay,
I have that real number somewhere, but it's about 700.
so.
$300 to do those cards.
I wanna see a
I
scooter,
would say $400 to do those cards.
Okay.
What'd you
I
say?
wanna see a scooter give me some more signs that say pick it back for your dog. He's got a contact where he can.
I kinda like Rob's chainsaw and mask idea.
I guess if it's down to the apartments, you put a sign up to the residents walking into their apartments, a sign like at the entryway, don't forget to pick up after your dog. Before you go back and pick up your dog, which is outside, you better turn around and pick up your food or something. Postcard signs,
Could we? And, I mean, could we try maybe first, if it's cheaper and more sustainable in the long term, to maybe turn this into some kind of signage, yeah, that we can
Yeah,
keep down there, it'll stay down there potentially longer. Not just a one-time thing to everyone in town, when we're only trying to really address, you know, 25% of all those people. And then once they get it, they see it, maybe half of them don't even have a dog, or they have a cat and they throw it away. I think that we could use that to make a lot of nicer signs that we just keep down there, and even if in the winter, if we need to pull them out. I guess we could, but I don't know, just an idea, I'm thinking, because then we can keep them. Use them for longer, and move them around if we have to. The problem starts over here, then we can like relocate our signs. Anyway,
Okay, well, I guess we definitely need to get this out.
A sign plan would be appropriate.
I think that's what we need to do.
yeah, especially with like all that stuff going up at the lake. It's gonna be a lot more traffic going through there, a lot more signs would be
More signs.
appropriate,
you
yeah.
know, for the tourists too, have a
Yeah.
few.
I think more trash cans would probably help also. There's definitely trash cans, like you were talking about, like on the Cooper's Trail. But I think there's one, once you get past that, where that trail hits Clear Creek Drive, there's one there, and then there isn't one until you get to Cabin Creek, basically, so.
Well, there's one right at the footbridge, right when you cross through the apartments.
There's one
right
And then there should be one more midway from that footbridge to that.
There is,
Yeah, but they're a little small.
but if Rick wants to put some more out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put some more, okay, as soon as I get the cameras.
Let's do it.
All right, let's see what else that, transfer station resources. Which Saddle Flyers, as some of you already know that the county transfer station, Addo Springs, is sitting on a pile of free resources, compost mulch. Compost in a big blank spot in Roland Park that could use some love, let's try to compost with some seeds, see if we can fix it right.
I did order, I do have compost now,
Okay,
they brought me like a shit ton of it.
about mulch.
Well, the most you wanted to use at the lake, I got the compost that's already been composted.
Yeah, I don't know if we wanna use multiple piles.
Yeah, that's what I do, I shot that out,
No, I'm into doing
but I
that.
did get the compost for Gordon Park.
Switch the road base across it all, let's see. He's all that mess.
Yeah, we need the road base down there. for
That's
sure.
not, yeah, we definitely need road base.
Yeah,
We just gotta figure out, she had 40K, does that have to cover the whole thing?
probably.
What's it 200K? What's the gravel across? We're not doing that,
No,
we're not doing.
we just need road base.
Road base.
There is a lot of coverage down there, especially by the viewing. Down there by the viewing center by the toilets.
Yeah. Alright, we gotta look at doing the road base, we gotta check our budget and see if we need to do that. That be all parks take care of the road base, the town?
Yep.
Road and bridge, does any involve with that at all, or just,
They would have the equipment to put it down, I mean, there's a
So we-
lot to do.
so we supply the road base and they would move it around?
Really, the big thing is being able to, roll it. You gotta roll it, otherwise it's
Well,
just gonna,
road bridge got rolled.
yeah.
Okay,
I think road bridge needs to step up and also participate in these parking lots,
yeah,
because I mean, they are the road bridge. I mean,
well, road and bridge, not parking lot. Road bridge, parking lot.
parking lot, that people drive on.
Alright, well, I would say, I'm gonna put that in for the next meeting, but we need to look at it in the road base.
Okay.
Epic Town Cleanup Day sign up. But after, just speaking, it looks like
It's covered.
everything's covered, you would just wanna help, we show up that morning to help.
Yeah.
So it looks like, we used to put the whole thing on, we did it in June, but now, did last year the first year?
Yes.
Yeah, last year the first year, and I realized that they take care of a lot of it, so. Which is good, so,
And Beth got a lot of free service people coming also.
yeah, we had some good luck last year, that's for sure. In our budget. We had one. Have the team review list of options in my last email on how they wanna spend the 92K in 2025. Need to walk away with a priority list. Those options like 1 through 10, number 1 being our first priority.
Well, you guys have like a $62,000 shortfall in that new, Kevin's Park.
Yeah, we know that.
I was gonna say, wouldn't that be one of the reasons?
No.
One of the places we should use that?
I think this was on top of that,
Oh,
yeah. That's kind of what I mean with first.
Well,
I mean,
no, that was a big.
yeah, I mean, right now, our number 1 is trying to get our skate park.
I would say.
Yeah,
I think number one.
So I think that's number 1. What we need to spend on that, keep going this year. And then same thing is the mountain bike park at Greenway.
Yeah, bike park for sure.
The Southeast Lake Park. Then we had fencing for park, one of the fence the parks. RV designs, so I would say skate park's number 1. Mountain bike park Greenway,
Yeah.
number 2.
My number 2.
Southeast Lake Park. Which was that?
Is that what we were just looking at?
Stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Southeast Lake Park, that's 3.
Yeah.
And then those are all big high numbers. Skate park, we had about 450K to do. Mountain bike park, 225K. We're looking at design, about 120K to start the skate park. 20K for the mountain bike, and Southeast Park 20K.
Something that I've been talking about with Greg is that, you guys had like a fairly big chunk of money at the end of last year
Yeah.
that you didn't use. But what we can do and what we should be doing is that any funding you're trying to save for future projects, we need to create a fund for that project and move that money into it.
Okay,
And then you guys know like how much money is actually in there to use that stays in there for future projects.
so you don't have to actually physically spend it in 25, as long as we put the fund that it goes to their project.
Yes, you need
So we
to,
allocate it in 25, we can use it in 27,
exactly,
that'd be great,
because all of your projects cost more than your per project is ever gonna be in 1 year.
okay.
So if you wanna do a capital project, it needs to have some fund.
We had asked, we wanted to fence in the parks, we're looking at that too. And then we're looking at doing, the RV park designs down there. I like how she has it in order. I definitely, we should move forward with design engineering, 1, 2, 3, and that's, 140. That's 160 right there. I'll make sure we got enough. All right, so we prioritize this and then, we'll, touch base again next month. That's all I had on the agenda.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Joe,
Do we
not
need
yet.
to motion to make a fund for Acacia? Is that a thing that we need to do so that?
I don't think we're ready for that.
Oh,
You
okay.
guys need to,
We're gonna talk about that next meeting, so next meeting, we always have our Parks and Tech, instead of me trying to think of stuff to do, Beth,
Put it on.
we have Kevin's report. I'll leave on the lakefront update, Greg, and I'll leave on the UTAP update to students. Next was just, we did that. Fitness courts out, dock repair we could follow up on, dog boost card follow up on. Transfer station, road base, follow up on. Every time, clean up day we'll follow up on because we're gonna do it, 2 weeks after that, then budget review, we'll leave on. Anything else you wanna add? Talk about this? Okay. Now you may.
I've already overstepped my no. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn. Thanks, everyone.
What do we? Yeah.
Thanks for letting me know. Relay back.